Good morning, fellow traders. It is Friday, end of another fabulous week, April 12th. I'm Jonathan van Clute with Stock Navigators, here to take a look at the markets with you this morning, and also, of course, remind you to please do subscribe to the channel if you're not already. Hello and welcome to the new subscribers. And if you've got any symbols or anything you'd like me to look at or analyze for you, please do leave it in the comments below. Just leave a ticker symbol, and if you have a specific time frame in mind, if you are a day trader, if you are a swing trader, if you are a long-term trader, whatever it may be, let me know that as well, and I will do my best to analyze whatever it is you need looked at. All right, let's start by taking a look at the S&P 500, and S&P is once again trying to thrust itself upwards to this sell zone up here overhead. You can see it on the 60-minute. We've got this big push up overnight and this morning here. It was a very strong move price-wise, but not really all that strong oscillator-wise. Oscillator is still very low. Look how much higher it was when price was way back here, and now it's so much lower, and it's breaking to a new high here. Higher highs and higher lows, right? But it's not higher than that previous level there. So again, oscillator's kind of weak. You can really see even in the shorter term here, look how high the oscillator was there. Look where it is here, but price is way up here. This is a divergence. If you're not familiar with this concept, this is what's called a divergence. We have the oscillator showing one thing, it's getting weaker and weaker and showing lower lows and lower highs. And we have price showing higher highs and higher lows. So behind the scenes, behind price, the trend is weakening. So yes, it's weakening, but the fact is it is still up. So right now, the trend is still up. There's no disputing that. Every pullback to this trend line has been a buying opportunity, and we've seen that again here. But this is a huge warning that this trend may be running out of steam soon. So I wouldn't be looking to initiate maybe a longer term long position at these levels. I would be wanting to see a pullback, which we're likely to be getting sometime soon. Timing is the tricky bit. Now we've got the all-time high right here, and then this is where it failed to break the all-time high, and then once it took out the previous higher low, then it was all downhill from there. But we are almost right back in that area, so it's looking like price is going to want to retest this zone. And once it does so, and when it does so on weakening momentum, then we're looking for that zone to hold as resistance. There are probably plenty of sell orders up here. I mean, think about it. Anybody who bought up in here, or really anywhere in here, anybody who bought in there and didn't sell out by the time it got down here, managed to hang on and suffer through that, which is a very painful drawdown. If they get back up here, a lot of them are going to want to just get out. Just say, thank you for giving me my money back. Get me out of here. So I have no doubt there's going to be some strong selling happening once price gets up into this level. Maybe even before then. The question is, will it even break the low of this zone? We'll have to wait and see. But I just am very nervous about any kind of longer term long at this level. Now, day trading, different story. Obviously, there are moves in both directions. Yesterday, I played both short and long in the same day, back to back even. So it just depends on what's going on. We were in a very range bound day the last couple of days. It's been pretty sideways. This morning, we have a big push up already this morning. So it'll be interesting to see if we are range bound the rest of today, we go sideways, or if we give that back and get a nice trending move to the downside, or what's going to shape up. But certainly as a day trader, you can play whichever direction the market is giving you. We'll have to see what happens once the opening bell sounds in 40 minutes. And then we'll watch the opening action and make a decision on what to do after the market kind of calms itself down a little bit, figures out what it wants to do. All right, let's take a peek at crude oil. Come on, there we go. Crude oil is still hanging on to this uptrend. There's been a very nice move up, and it's still hanging on, but it's going sideways right now. Not that surprising. We had another pullback to the 21 EMA and then a nice bounce off of it. And now we're kind of digesting that bounce. So going a little bit sideways. We went a little bit sideways back here too, and then jumped up, and then a little bit sideways here. And then maybe we jump up again. Maybe we pull back to the 21 EMA again. Don't know yet. But I do see this. We've got sort of a triple top kind of thing going on here. But look how much lower the oscillator is. So it's looking like the oscillator is, it's losing momentum. It's definitely burning out a bit. Now, on the short term, this trend line clearly was broken, but then the trend continued. That was just a little bit of a pullback, just a shallow bear flag. I mean, a bull flag rather, a shallow flag, and then a continuation. Right now, if I throw a trend line on here and just to see where that would fall. Oops, come on. All right, that trend line has actually already been broken as well. So this trend is definitely kind of rolling over and losing momentum and so forth. So it may come back up, test this trend line as resistance, and then pull back. We'll have to see, or maybe it's got it in it to hop up over it and keep going higher. But the pattern certainly has been thrust up, go sideways a little bit, maybe thrust up again, pull back to the 21 EMA, and then same thing, sideways, pull back to the EMA, up, sideways, pull back to the EMA. So maybe we do that again here, up, sideways, pull back to the EMA. Now on the daily, the oscillator is actually gaining in strength. It's a little bit higher than it was back here. So, that's a potentially bullish sign, but it's not huge. It's just a little tiny bit higher, whereas price is significantly higher. So it's not a divergence, but I would like to have seen a bigger jump in the oscillator to show that there is heavy momentum behind this. Because right now it's kind of looking like it's going to want to pull back somewhere here, maybe establish a higher low here or something like that, and then march higher. This is starting to look a little bit tired, but it's not done yet. Certainly not out of steam yet. So right now, that 21 EMA, that's your support, and it's just riding that to the upside for as long as you can. Pullbacks to it are just another opportunity to enter. Day trading, of course, you can go whichever direction. Just like any other market, if it presents to the bear side, go to the bear side. If it presents to the bull side, go to the bull side. But you got to be able to tell the difference and know which mode you're in. Right now, definitely the mode is up. We've got the MACD line is above the zero line. It's also above its signal line, which crossed back here. So certainly the bulls are in charge. Oscillator is above the zero line as well on the 60. So right now, bulls are in charge. But again, given where we are up here, I would be very, very cautious about a long at this level. I would want to wait and see what's going to happen and look for a short setup. If there's going to be a bit of a pullback, you might be able to catch a nice little scalp. All right, let's take a peek at the gold market. And gold is very interesting here. Gold got whacked down yesterday pretty significantly. We had another big down day, almost exactly the same as this one. So, what does that mean? Do we again go sideways in kind of a narrow range there? Or do we finally continue this flag that I've been talking about a week ago or a couple weeks ago, whenever it was? So I was really looking for that 100% extension. I was starting to think, well, maybe I'm not going to get it. But at the moment, we've got a high, we've got a lower low, we've got a lower high. If we can make a lower low, then I'm thinking that the bear flag is intact. It's just not going there in one shot. Now, an interesting observation in this market is that's the daily chart, right? So that's a longer term time frame. But on the shorter term, on the 60-minute, just this little pull down here, this one candle's move here, right? That's this. And what do we have here? We have what could certainly be another bear flag. So on the 60-minute, on the short term, we've got kind of a duplicate, a concentric, nested copy of the same type of move. We have bear flag here, looking for its continuation to the downside, and now it's kind of looking like we might have the same thing here. So we'll need to see it actually break these levels here, break out of this flag and hold. Right now, its breakdown has been met with buying and pushed right back up. Oscillator is also heading up. We'll have to see what's going to happen. Can it take out this low here and continue? If it can, then there's a decent sign that it might go to maybe 100% extension of that move, which now, just out of curiosity, since I'm mentioning it, I want to see what that would look like. So let me actually throw a 100% extension here just to see. And that would get us down to about 1280 or thereabouts. So right about the trend line in the bottom of this channel, pretty much exactly there. So I've got kind of two targets now. My shorter term target, shorter term flag, if that does prove to be a flag, would be around 1280. And my longer term flag is down here around 1251. So those are kind of the bearish levels I'm looking for. Right now, however, the oscillator on the daily is also increasing. And although price here got slightly lower than here, the oscillator actually made a higher low, not a lower low. So we are slightly bullish on the oscillator. It's not huge though. It's a very small thing. So I'm not gonna go overboard and start saying, oh, definitely bull side, bull side. Right now, it's indecisive. But based on just chart patterns alone, I'm looking at this flag as being, my potential. Um, my potential play. And for some reason, this is on the wrong spot. I just realized that. There we go. That's where it should be. So really, my bear flag on the daily, the target is more like, oh, this got moved too. Okay, these are all in the wrong spot. Wow, everything's in the wrong spot. I just noticed that. Okay, well now my flag is fixed. So 1262 or thereabouts is actually my flag target on the daily. Oops, and this is in the wrong place too. Huh. I'm getting sloppy with my extensions here this morning. There we go. So now my 100% is about 1277 or so. So it's actually a little bit lower than there. So that would get us well on our way to that 100% down at 1262. So we'll have to just see what happens. Does the market give up from here, or does it again hold in this area where it held before, and then bounce up higher again and get another nice little march to the upside? We'll have to just see what the market wants to do. All right, natural gas, nothing new to report. It's still just kind of grinding along. This market is pretty much dormant right now. Not a lot happening. Still some opportunity for day trading. If you're a short-term trader, you can definitely go whichever way that the market wants to give you and play it for just a short-term scalp. But there's just no long-term play right now to be had in this market. So we really got to wait for some momentum, some kind of enthusiasm to come in, because right now there just isn't any. There's just nothing. So I'm looking for possibly a retest of this bottom here. That'd be nice to see. Maybe this was it. Maybe that's all we get. And then we march higher. And if we can get up over the EMA here and hold it, then if we can take out these highs here, then we might have something. There might be a new bull trend in effect. But we got to see some momentum come in. It's just this market has fallen asleep. It's in a coma. So it'll wake up eventually. And when it does, just got to be ready for it. And last but not least, let's take a look at crypto. And just like I said on Wednesday, Bitcoin is hanging on to its gains. So far, it has actually managed to hold on to most of them. I'm impressed. I'm definitely suitably impressed with what Bitcoin has done here. And it's looking like, oh, excuse me, I get the hiccups. It's looking like we may have some continuation of that coming, because take a look at the oscillator here. It's getting stronger and stronger while price was making lower lows. So divergent oscillator to the bull side, and it's heading towards that zero line. So if we can get a push up over the zero line there on the oscillator and start to establish an upwards move, then we very well may challenge the highs here. And right there, that is our high to get over. So far, the bulls rather, they've been kind of exploring, pushing up, pushing up, pushing up, testing, 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 and each time they're being met with selling, selling, selling. There's a lot of wicks up here, so there's a lot of selling at this level. The question is, are the buyers going to overwhelm that selling, or are they going to give up to it and maybe do a significant pullback? It's going to be really interesting to see what happens, because this was such an important level. This 44.15 level was the previous lower high, and the market was just stuck below that for a good long while until it just exploded to the upside the other day, a couple of weeks ago now, I guess. So it's a tough one right now. It's looking like all upside movement is just being met with selling. Oscillator in the daily is declining. The MACD is crossing the signal line to the downside. So all signs are kind of suggesting on a daily basis to a pullback, which would be fine. I'd love to see a pullback, form a higher low somewhere above that 44.15 is what I'd really love to see. Maybe 4,500 or something like that. That'd be great. I'd love to see a higher low form there, and then a bounce and go higher, because then it can get some momentum behind it, challenge that previous high, and the new bull trend can truly get going. So we just need to keep a close eye on our shorter term time frames and be prepared when a move starts either direction. We do have a bullish divergence here, so get ready. If you're looking to trade Bitcoin, you're looking to get to the bull side, your chance might be coming soon. All right. That is it for this morning's analysis. Let's go back and take a quick peek at the S&P, see if anything exciting has happened. And no, not really. Market is still just hanging out up here near these highs. A little bit of selling came in the last hour and pushed the price back down again a little bit. So, 29.10 is really where we're at right now. So we just need to see what the open wants to do in half an hour. Right now, signs are pointing to an upwards move, at least in the short term. Zoom out a little bit here, but the oscillator again is just. Oops, I didn't zoom this side. The oscillator is very low compared to where it could be in the past. So I'm not falling in love with the long side. Put it that way. I am not joining the bull camp, but I'm not just blindly jumping on the bear side either. Got to wait and see what the market action wants to dictate, and then just jump along and grab what we can. And if we catch a big move and get a runner, hey, that's a bonus. But need to just trade with good targets and sensible stops and all that good stuff. Just take what the market wants to give you and don't push your luck. All right, that is it for me. Again, it's Friday, April 12th. So, everybody, enjoy your weekend. If this is the end of your week and you get some time off, I'm not going to have a lot of luxury for that because I got a ton of work to do for some upcoming exciting things that we're doing at Stock Navigators. So, going to be working the weekend just like I usually tend to do. All right. Well, take care, everybody. Trade well. And again, reminding you, please do subscribe to the channel if you're not already and leave me that feedback. Throw your symbols and anything you'd like me to analyze, explain, anything I can do to help you out in your trading. Do let me know, and I will be happy to do what I can. All right. Take care, everybody. Bye bye.